Hey guys, Team Reflect here, and today I'll be doing a deck profile on my hat deck that actually got first place a couple weeks ago. I I took it when I took it to my locals. I kind of just couldn't be bothered to put the deck back together, so I just thought I'd just quickly go on Yugo Pro and do it from here because it's a lot easier for me. Right then, enough blabbering on. Let's get into the deck profile. So first we got 3 Artifact Morale Attack. A lot of people I've seen have been cutting this down to 2 and still playing 3 Sanctum. I think that's stupid, just because of the reason that you do not want these to be dead. Like, yes, even if they're MST bait, but nobody really plays MST in the main deck anymore. Well, at least at my locals. And if they do, they side them in, and if they know they're playing hat, they'll either side them in or they'll side them out because they don't want to have the fear of hitting that artifact to then get off a bunch of your combos, or they will side them in so that they can get rid of your back row a bit more efficiently. But yeah, I just don't like that because I hate morale attack when it's dead. Like when I draw multiples of these, like say if I drew 2 on my first hand, I still have 3 of these in my deck. Every time I drew one of these, this would be dead, and I would just be completely useless to me. Same with morale attack, really. So I like the 3 Sanctum because then you still have your chance of getting to that Sanctum and then still using these, but then having the odd one for a trap bait or something. And then next we play the standard 2 Diana, 2 Mermello, but I don't really need to explain that. Then we got the best floaters in the game, to my opinion. So we got the Ice Hands and the Fire Hands, it's just broken. And then I play Karkar over Maxi. I used to play Maxi, but I noticed personally at my locals, Karkar was a better choice because a lot of people weren't special summoning very much with in one turn. So they would like special summon one monster, you just get one draw. Yes, that one draw is good, but it doesn't really need, you don't really need it one draw when you could have 2 and you're completely safe, because in hat it's kind of that deck where you go, okay, right, so I will just set one like 3 cards face down, and then I'll do whatever I want to do this turn, next turn, just because I can and I have the protection. So because there are so many traps in this deck, you need Karkar more than Maxi, in my opinion, as you can just tribute Karkar, you draw 2 cards, and then you also have like 4 back row because you're just completely set up. And then Karkar just helps you get to more combos to beat your opponent faster. And then we play the Dark Hole, which would be a Regeki, because Regeki's legal now, thank God. I love Regeki. And but yeah, that will be a Regeki, so just remember that. Change that to Regeki. And then 2 Pot Dualities, I think this is fine because you don't really special summon often on your turn. Like, if you get Duality on your turn, you're probably just, and you have like this, you're fine because you don't special summon. This is just completely setting up. And this, even on your first turn, that's setting up as well. And Karkar, so it kind of all goes in conjunction. Apart from these 5 cards and these 3 cards, you don't special summon a lot in the main deck. Apart from the hands, obviously. But you don't special summon with those on the turn that you summon them, unless you need to crash into an opponent's monster with them. And actually, one last thing about the hands. I was actually playing 2 of each, but then my friend advised me to play... my friend Alex, who's also a part of this channel, he advised me to play 3 of each because I was just testing out 2 of each at the beginning, and then he told me no, play 3. So I took his advice, and then I ended up winning that day. So that was quite fun. Then double I was just completely thrown off by the name on here now. 2-Pot Dichotomy, I love this card. I always have loved this card, and it's so live in this deck because you have so many different types, even with the extra deck. Like, I absolutely love spending an hour annoying my opponent with Duplicity and Emerald, and where is he? Oh, okay, right. Another card that's meant to be in here is Lavarval Chain. I did take out the No, I did not take out the Utopia. I'll get into that later. I took out the Durandal for a Lavarval Chain. I completely forgot about that. Anyway, carrying on. Yeah, we play the 2 MSTs. It's fine. Don't really need to be explained. It's MST. 3 Sanctum. I already explained this card. A Void Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole, and then 2 Trap Trap Hole Nightmare. A lot of people only play either 2 of this or 1 of this, 1 of this. I decided to go for 3 because the amount of recycling that my deck did got me my Mermello back more times. Well, like basically every single time I used it. So it was live, every time. And I like the fact that even if I add them back to the deck and I've already summoned 3 of them, I still have another trap left just for their helpfulness. And I found that very, very useful in that day. And plus, a lot of people don't expect a second one of these. If they see the void trap hole, they go, okay, right, I've already dealt with one of these, so so he won't have another one because he's got void trap hole. So I surprised about 4 people on that day just by flipping the second, trap hole nightmare, and it just worked very nicely for me personally. Then I got, obviously, Torrential Tribute, standard in this deck, punishes overextending. 2D Prism, obvious, because it just stops attacks, because you don't actually have a lot of cards in this deck that stops your opponent from attacking you. You only have cards that stop your opponent from doing anything apart from attacking. So I put in the D Prism there because, yeah, it just stops attacks. 2 Fiendish Chain, yeah, it stops attacks, but it also negates effects. And probably, if I had my hands on them, these would have been breakthrough skills. But I like Fiendish Chain at the moment a bit more than Breakthrough Skill, just by playing Hat at the moment. Obviously, Breakthrough Skill's better because it leaves the field, whilst this doesn't, but this also means they can't attack, so I just like this card. Then we also have a Call of the Haunted, and this was actually very helpful. The amount of times that I used the Larval Chain's effect to get rid of a Diana or a Momelo, and then just use this to special summon it back was insane. I don't like Soul Charge in this deck for a couple reasons. That being that obviously every deck uses, well, close to every deck uses Solemn Warning. That's 2,000 already gone. And the fact that, yes, you have tons of traps to stop you from losing life points, but when you do lose life points, you can just sometimes just let them through. So there are some points in the game where you just don't have enough advantage, so then you begin to lose life points, and then Soul Charge becomes more and more dead. Also, with the fact it came to 1, that kind of put me a little bit off Soul Charge in some decks, but in this deck I didn't even play it in the first place, so I just preferred Call of the Haunted in this deck, so don't go on at me for that. But then I played the 2 Wiretap, it's fun, it's just a funny card. The amount of times not the amount of times because there only one Shadow player, but just a Shadow player flipped over Sinister Shadow Games about 4 times, probably a bit more in our match, which he won one of. And this card just completely wrecked his shit because it was hilarious. Because almost every time he activated one, I just went no Wiretap, and he got really, really pissed off. And then we also got the Black Corn of Heaven. I love this card personally. I'm thinking of bumping it up to 2. And then Solemn Warning. This is standard in most decks, as I already explained. Now for the extra deck, after that odd main deck, we got Constellar Pleiades. I like this card. Obviously, it's like the best rank 5 in the game at the moment. This is meant to be Larval Chain, just because Larval Chain is amazing. Right, now Utopia. A lot of people questioned why I played Utopia. I played Utopia for the sheer fact that it surprises some players. Also the fact that it's a 2/5 beta that can negate any attack. I kind of like that. I don't play him in any rank 4 deck apart from this one, just because it's funny, because your opponent usually expects you to go something like this card that I can't pronounce. Anyway, that card, Exton, D'Agosto, Abyss, basically any of the main ones, but they do not expect Utopia, and it's funny when you summon one because they don't do anything to it because it's Utopia, and everybody says, oh, Utopia is shit, but it's funny when you just summon one and they don't even bottomless it or anything. So I just like Utopia because everybody underwhelms it, and I actually won a game or 2 because of Utopia. And then this card, it's completely hilarious. When I was there, a player attempted to use Axe of Despair on one of their monsters, which had higher attack than mine already. They just wanted to go for extra damage. I said, no way. Got rid of attachment, and then I made Axe of Despair equipped to this monster, which was then able to beat over their monster, which was absolutely hilarious. But yeah. That's just one story why I like this card. Also, it's funny against D-Prism. Also funny against Fiendish Chain. Also funny against basically any meta trap that targets things at the moment. And it's just a cool card, and I like it. Also, you can use it with MST to target one of your Morale attacks, so that's why I do not play the Artifact Unleash, I think it's called. Oh wait, no, Artifact Movement, that's it. The spell card that destroys your own card and then sets an artifact. But yeah, that's why I don't play that, because I play the MSTs, which are basically a better version of it, because I don't play Beagle Attack, which I hate. I'm not going to bother explaining that. And anyway, back to the extra deck. We play Ragnar Zero, because there are about 2 Bujin players at my locals. Black Shippercorn, because it's just a funny broken card, especially when the amount of times that I used this card against Zen mains was insane. 101, no explanation, it's just amazing. Heartland Draco, no explanation, it's amazing. I won about game. I think I won a game just by using that card's effect when they thought I couldn't do anything else. Castile, obviously, if you have the access to play this and the 101, I would definitely suggest it. Luckily, I had access to that, so yeah, I just played that because it's a broken card, and you don't need Maestroke in this deck because it's quite good. Because if you don't have access to 101, and you have a Maestroke, but you also have this card, you do not need Maestroke or 101, freeing up one extra deck spot, which is very good. Then Diamond Direwolf, which I am now remembering, I actually didn't take this card out. I took Diamond Direwolf out for Lavarval Chain, because honestly, I just don't like Diamond Direwolf. I don't know why I put it in this deck in the first place. I just don't like this card. I don't like the fact that you summon it and it just wastes a summon, and yeah, you can destroy a card in the field, but with the amount of cards in this deck that destroy things, you don't really need it. I'm just going to get rid of it now, and then put in Lavarval Chain now. Lavarval Chain, there we go. Difficult to spell. Anyway, yeah. XTOM, no explanation needed. And I just deleted it. Okay, right, anyway. Dagusto Emerald, Abyss Dweller, Gaga Cowboy, Rhapsody, because it's just a funny broken card, because I have 2 Lightsworn players at my locals, and Lavarval Chain, which we explained many times on. And yes, that is it for the main deck. But we actually played a side deck this time, and it's a very, very crap one, but it worked. Lava Golem is funny. I just love the fact it's like your opponent sets up a board. I actually played against an opponent. He managed to summon a Draco Sack, and I just tributed his Draco Sack for this card, and then Fiendish Chained. No, I didn't Fiendish Chain the card. What did I do to it? I did something, and made it completely useless to him. But yeah. Anyway, Maxi, in case if you're playing that one, the odd deck that is faster. Or not faster, because a lot of things are faster than that. It's just setting traps. That one deck that's fast, like say you're playing Mythic Rulers or you're playing something of that nature, I just side out the Karkadi for this card, or Stellar Knights or something like that. As I already said, I have Lightsworn players, so this is why I put in Soul Release. No one of Cross out, because there's the odd Shadow player, and it's actually quite good on just genuine decks, because some people don't expect this card to come out against a deck that's not Shadow or Lightsworn. And obviously people say, oh, why are you saying Lightsworn? But the odd deck plays Raikou, and this card's just funny against Raikou. Then play the third MST, obviously. Needle Sealing is funny in this deck, because you don't really get many monsters on the field unless you're going off to win. So it just, again, it punishes overextending. And Compulse, because I didn't feel it was worth it putting it in the main deck, because Compulse is a good card, don't get me wrong, but this deck is very strapped for space with trap cards, so I just decided to put this in my side deck just to make sure it wasn't completely gone if I ever needed it. That is the end of my Hats deck profile, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.